So yeah, you wanted to start off with what you're saying about when the violence started to erupt.
So my name's Star. I was over at the 3rd precinct on Lake Street on the 27th, and that's basically when stuff really started to break out throughout the city. And so basically when I first got there, I didn't really know what I was walking in through at all, and it was really a battleground. Like, I remember that there was this couple that was at the bench, like at a bus stop right down the street, and I was walking with my 2 other friends, and they're just like, do you guys need water? Like, are you guys good? And we're confused because we're like, whoa, like what the fuck is going on? We didn't think it was as serious as it was really getting. So they handed us water. This dude had these like goggles on and gave them to me and was like, they're tear gassing everybody, like they're macing everybody, just be safe, be careful. Instantly when I go there, I like go to the front because the way that they had it set up, it was the precinct, it was a bunch of officers, and then there was like a bunch of like this metal railing that they put around it. And so I go there and I go to the front of the railing because I'm just that type of person, you know, like I really want to be a part of it if I'm going to be a part of it. So I'm right at the front, like talking to them, and like we start chanting, I can't breathe, I can't breathe. Nobody touched these officers at all. Instantly, maced the fuck out of everyone. I got maced, I ran back, they had to pour milk in my eyes, they had like vinegar on like some type of paper towel to have me smell to fix my eyes, but like it was really crazy. Like honestly, all the news when it first started were just trying to make it seem like the city was just looting and just like burning shit, but majority of the violence was the police, and it didn't turn violent until the police started like
what they failed to really put on news and like stuff like that is the peaceful stuff that is actually going on in our city. Like they don't put the fact that people marched over an hour just to go downtown, just to protest, and they're doing peaceful, you know, talks, and they want everybody to be interactive, but they're not putting that up. They're portraying everybody to seem like they're just crazy and like it's just so much looting going on. But in reality, it's a lot of mixed emotions that everybody is going through, not just black, but every race that feels our pain that we go through and like understands a little bit. They might not understand completely what we're going through, but like they feel for us, and that means a lot. Like all these people doing all this beautiful artwork and like actually like showing out for us, it means a lot because it's like if we speak up for ourselves all the time, but to have other people speaking up for us too, it means so much.
That's what's gonna make the difference because the problem in the U.S. is there's so much division between races and like social status and all this stuff, and like the thing that's really gonna make the change is everybody coming together. And I was a part of a lot of these protests, and every single one that I was at, everybody was so supportive and so peaceful with one another. But the minute that the city and the people that are in charge and supposed to be protecting us turn violent, like it gets to a point where people don't know what else to do. They're gonna retaliate, you know? And one thing that we even found out is like the people that were starting the fires were like white supremacists and people that were not protesters. Like none of us started that. I was there when the first one set on fire, the auto zone, bro. It spread to like this construction building next to it, and then this other big ass building, and like none of us did that. They broke the windows, threw something in there, the fire started, and then the media automatically portrays the citizens in our own city to be fucking it up, when in all reality there were so many different races there that were helping each other. Like I saw so many people get shot with rubber bullets, like bleeding profusely, that people were just rushing to like pick them up, and like it's just crazy to see this because I'm young. Like I had just came from school from taking my senior photos, went straight to Lake.
Right?
Yes, like I'm 18, yes, and I went straight to Lake Street and just it was like stepping into a different world. Like all the stuff that I seen in school about our history and like growing up, like I never thought that I would live through that. And the harsh reality of it all is that it never stopped. None of these things ever ceased. Like we've always been oppressed as people in the US, you know? It's just eventually all of those secrets and all of that anger and all of that pain and those deaths start to boil up, and people are gonna start using their voices. And
but
like
the fact that we are able to, it's not just spreading from Minnesota. It started here, but now it's in so many different states. It's in different countries.
Haiti.
The fact that like people are like really speaking up and actually like giving a fuck. It means a lot. Like that's I have a little daughter.
Yeah.
And all I could think of is, baby, you gotta be careful when you go out because you never know when it could be you. And that's what scares me the most. A lot of the times I want to go out and protest, but I have to remind myself I do have someone at home who I have to look after and I have to protect. And yes, that would be my voice of trying to protect her, but then again, it's like if something really bad does happen to mom, who's gonna be there for her?
Right. And that's the thing that so many people deal with on a daily, like, and bottom line, like, that's the thing that so many people deal with on a daily. And bottom line, like, people have to understand, like, as people, we have to protect each other. And there are some people that are more privileged than other people, regardless of if we want it to be that way or not. That is the way our system is set up here, to oppress, to keep people down, to keep the rich people richer and the poor people poor, you know? And like, being as young as I am, you know, it sucks, but part of me is glad that I had the opportunity to see this firsthand with my own eyes instead of on the media, because it changed my perspective so much. And that's coming from a young black woman. It changed my perspective so much on the things that we deal with.
How so? What was your perspective before?
You know, growing up, especially being mixed, it's hard to find a solid place to fit in the world. And it's always been that way.
And say, we're not cousins because of
our skin color, you know?
But we're
people like, oh,
cousins.
your family?
We're
like,
related.
you
like,
know?
Yeah.
We're blood cousins. Like, you know, same aunt, same uncle, same everything.
And you
but
would
because
never,
of her skin tone and
it's automatic that separation.
It's like, oh, well, she's mixed, so she's more like on the privileged side. I'm more darker tone or whatever, so I'm more of like, oh, she's full African American.
Yeah, like she's ghetto, she's gonna
like,
be ratchet, you know, I'm gonna be educated and like proper, you know, that is the stigma, that's the stereotype.
Yeah.
And like, it really just helped me to see how real all this stuff is, because the difference from me and other kids in my community outside of my race is growing up from the age of 5, I was taught to look out for my brothers and sisters. I was taught how to deal with the police in situations if I ever had an interaction. Be calm, listen to what they say. Other kids don't grow up having to know these things. And like, I always knew it as a thing. I always seen on the news people getting killed, people getting shot, you know? But being there and like seeing it firsthand, it's almost like something in my brain just connected, and I realized that this is deep rooted in my blood. It's not just in my streets, it's not just in the media, it's literally in my skin. I have to walk with this every day. I have to live with this every day. There's no escape, because I can never run from who I am. I can't hide from who I am, and I would never want to. But I realized that the people around me, my community, people that I thought were close friends of mine, don't really care about my struggles because of what I look like. And that really just opened my eyes. Because I'm black. Because I'm black. And being mixed, the part that comes to play in being mixed is that growing up, I went to a diverse school. I never fit in with the white kids because I was too black. I didn't fit in with the black kids because I was too white. So going into
their understanding.
Exactly. To their, and not every, I don't want to speak for the whole black community either, because colorism is a real thing and not everybody has that mindset. But just how I was growing up and a lot of other mixed kids that I know, that was our life. We didn't really know our solid place. And so being mixed and being a part of this, it kind of gave me a understanding of my history, of who I am as a person, of what makes me strong and thick-skinned like I am today, you know? And just really showed me that, like, regardless of my tone of skin, like, there is a whole community of people willing to stand behind me if anything happens. But it also showed me that there has to be a community of people willing to stand behind you if anything happens, because if there's not, things like George would have never got his justice. It would have never happened. It would have been like all these other, this list of unknown names that we can't even identify half of the people that have been killed by police brutality and other racial related issues. And like, I don't know, helped me to see the world that we live in clearly. Bottom line, like, I was kind of up in my head about my position in this life because of the fact that, you know, I wasn't raised in the hood, you know, but I have family that's poor as hell that was, you know, so there was always that divide. My mom always made sure that we had it because she never did. But it showed me those two sides. It just showed me, it gave me more information and unlocked parts of this issue and this big thing that most people don't know because of the fact that if you can only base things off of the social media, like, I got to be there and feel the emotion, feel the energy, see the screams and the cries. And it's different. It's different than if you're just watching your screen, you know? You can't ever get the full picture from a flat screen. And I got to see that full rounded view. And, you know, I can't really pinpoint the exact part that really clicked for me because there are so many different, like, things to factor in. But bottom line, like, I just see it. And I just was like, this is real. This is what we fight for every day. Yeah, I'm doing a little interview for, like, everything that's going on with the city and stuff.
Great.
Oh,
So where are you from?
Wisconsin.
Yeah.
What's going on in the news?
I don't know, I was on the news. I was on Care 11.
One thing quick. What do you have to say to the people who say, oh, we understand their situation, but they shouldn't be looting or being violent, or whatever, something along those lines? You know, the buts.
Okay.
What do you have to say to those people?
There are no buts, you know? There's a cause and effect to everything in life. And as a person who was there and witnessed everything, I do agree. People shouldn't have been vandalizing the city and looting things, but you can't, one person's doing doesn't represent everybody, and you can't control those people. You shouldn't be focusing on what people aren't doing and focus on what they are doing. There are so many people out here that are being so peaceful and genuinely using their voices for goods and just trying to make this movement move forward so we can get out of this racial war that we have, this black and white, this clash that we have. And it's like, it's okay for you to feel that way. But if you're gonna educate yourself on the looting, the stealing, the fires, educate yourself on the people that were killed. The families that no longer have brothers, sons, cousins, daughters, uncles, nieces, nephews. Like, educate yourself on everybody in the city that's making all this beautiful art. You have to try as hard as you can to see all sides of the story because there's always two sides to a story. And like, more than anything, good overpowers bad. And I promise you that there's so many more. For every one person you see stealing, there's 3,000 more people that are picking up everything that's littered and painting and helping people clean the city and just, you know, doing their best to spread love. That's what I'm here for. You know what I'm saying? Like, I can't speak for everybody, but I'm not focused on everybody. I'm focused on me and my people that love me, support me, care about me. Think about that, and what can you do with that? Because at the end of the day, like, there's always gonna be people that are doing good, and there's always gonna be people that are doing bad. Why focus on the bad and make that the big picture and blow that up so more people can see that and follow on that path, rather than promoting and advertising all the good so people can see that and say, wow, people are really trying to save their city. People are really trying to make sure that black people have equal rights as human beings. People are really trying to come together as people outside of races. You know what I'm saying? Like,
because they always bring commandments up, but when it comes to certain races and stuff, it's like it doesn't matter anymore. It's like we're blind to it, you know, and it just hurts, and it's so disrespectful. And what they fail to realize is, like, we don't want to sit here and argue and have to keep fighting
and
for
keep
our voices to be heard.
Because
it's just like
the things that I'm saying, I can guarantee you, every person that watches this has heard something along the lines of what I'm saying a million times before. So it's up to you to decide, is this gonna be the last time you hear this and you make some action to make a difference? Or are you gonna keep using the same argument that well, black people kill each other, so why can't police kill them? And, oh, well, you guys are burning down your city, so how do you really want things to change? Like, you know what I'm saying? What is that doing? But keeping this going. As a person, you have to really take a step back and realize your power as an individual and realize how much your words and your opinions really do hold value. Whatever person, every single person on this earth contributes to the whole of the population. Like, your voice matters. And if you're talking about all the bad without trying to enforce the good and also validate the people who are doing good, you're just as bad as the people who are doing bad. Just as bad. You had to go?
Yeah.
Alright, the last thing that I would really want to say to people is, like, if you're seeing the media and you're seeing the looting and all of the pain that's going on, take a second and come to the city if you can. Go attend a peaceful protest on Chicago so you can really see what's going down. Talk to somebody who's from here that really knows and is a part of the good that we're doing, so you can get a full perspective of really what's going on, because there's so many bad people in this world and there's so many people that make bad decisions. Honestly, I don't believe anybody's inherently good or bad. It's all about choices, and you can choose to do something that you think is gonna benefit us as a whole, or you can do something for you, like stealing something, you know? But at the end of the day, like, if you really want to understand, come and be a part of it.
If you got time, I have one more question.
Yeah, go ahead.
So it seems to me, I just got here, but it seems to me that the city seems to be really rebounding in a positive way.
For sure.
It seems that Minneapolis has sort of grown together. Would you agree with that?
For sure. In so many ways, this has brought us closer. In so many ways, this has brought...
In a bittersweet sort of way, right?
Yes, because also in so many ways, it has torn us apart. But at the end of the day, with the progress that I'm seeing over the days with all these protests, like, all we wanted to do as people was get our voice heard. And we were hurt. People across the country are doing the same thing we're doing, and they're not even in our city, you know? And so that's all we wanted to do, you know? Everybody, I've seen so many people, like people that I know and I haven't seen in years, on the streets, like protesting and just like advocating, being an activist. Like, I don't call myself, I'm not a protester, I'm an activist, you know? I'm not against anything, I'm for it, you know what I'm saying? So I'm for love, and I definitely do agree that this has brought us as people so much closer, and even the people who aren't with us, you know, you're aware now. Like, this isn't something that can be ignored. It happened, and especially if you live here, like, whether you agree or disagree with what's going on, you're aware, you know, and that's all we wanted to do, was let you know how we live, and like, this is what we have to do. You see that we all literally had to come together. All this stuff had to happen just for these 3 officers who suffocated somebody to death on camera to be charged. That's not something that should happen. When all the protesters out there, when it got violent, they were locking people up and charging them instantly, you know? But yeah, to answer your question, I do definitely believe that it brought us closer for sure. And like, I can only hope that we continue to come close and stay that way, because I want to see a future where we can all be friends, you know? It's not even about like being above or below anybody. Like, Black Lives Matter, all lives do matter, but all lives can't matter until all lives matter, you know what I'm saying? So I hope that we can get to the point where every single life genuinely matters, not only in the eyes of people that we love and people around us, but in the eyes of our society and in the eyes of the system that we've been raised in.
It is a step in the right direction.
For sure. I feel like if we continue to, the people that are genuinely a part of this and genuinely are willing to put in the effort to make a change, I definitely feel like we're on the right track to doing that, as long as we continue to spread love. Like, it's really all about love and unity. More than anything, we just need to come together.
Right on.